these are the changes that were made last night. So what exactly do they mean for South Africa? Let's speak to Mbhazima Shilowa, former Gauteng Premier, of course, and a political commentator. Dr. Shilowa, thank you so much for your time this afternoon. They're about to take the oath, and of course, this is a moment of reflection. What should be going through their minds?
Yes, I think obviously many who are new will be saying, hopefully this is a good moment, and working on the basis that they can be able to deliver on the mandate that the president may have given to them. For ones who have just been shifted to new portfolios, they'll be hoping that they can be able to adjust to the new portfolios. So yes, it's a good day for them, but it's really more about what is it that they'll be able to offer to the country, taking into account any discussion that the president would have had with them.
And talking about, as they take up these new roles, and the different reaction that we've seen is, of course, around as well the Deputy President, Paul Mashatile. Some saying he seems to be the man that South Africa needs right now as Deputy President. Others disagreeing with that. Does South Africa need a Deputy President like Paul Mashatile at this present moment, looking at where we are?
I think that the ANC would have decided what its leadership ranking is supposed to be, and they decided that Paul Mashatile should be the deputy president of the ANC. So the president was duty bound, especially once Didi Mabuza had said he is happy to make way to appoint Paul Mashatile. For me, it's not whether or not Paul Mashatile is there, but it's how does the president utilize a Paul Mashatile who is rooted in the structures of the ANC, who have had a good time both at national, during the times of the UDF, at the time of the provincial structures of the ANC and government, and now back into government, having been shifted earlier by President Zuma. How does he utilize him? Because if you utilize him effectively, it is possible that even those of us who think that the ANC may go below 50 may get to be proven wrong.
And looking at, of course, the, when you look at the cabinet and some of the changes that were made last night, there seems to be more hands now in the presidency. Is that a good thing?
I'm not sure whether it's a good or bad thing to have so many ministers in the presidency. I remember in the, soon after 1999 and going to 2004, that both COSATU and the Communist Party were saying Thabo Mbeki was creating an imperial presidency. And one would have thought that they would have raised the same issues, but we don't know why the president thought many people should be in the presidency. For me, again, that doesn't matter. What matters is that to an extent that they are being placed there to achieve a certain goal, will they be able to achieve that particular goal? And one always hopes that maybe they will be able to achieve that particular goal. We also need to look at not just the people who are in the presidency, but to say that, someone like the current new COGTA minister and one of the deputies, they understand more about local government, and one hopes they'll be able to steer it in a particular direction, which will help us sort out the problem of the municipalities. Because if you look, it doesn't matter. We tend to focus now on what is happening in Tshwane, Johannesburg, and Ekurhuleni. The reality is that the majority of municipalities under ANC control are underperforming, and that's really where some of the problems are.
And especially when you think about how many of them are dysfunctional, and the president, also talking about that time and again. Let's talk about, lastly, then, among the other functions of the Minister of Electricity is that he will liaise with other relevant ministers to ensure coherence in the issuing of directions during the national state of disaster. It sounds like this is a go-between. Is it really a go-between, or are they, what are you reading into this?
What I'm reading into it is that the president have decided to create a new ministry, and then decided that he's going to use the powers he have as the president to assign various powers to municipalities. So he's going to take from, to ministers. He's going to take from Gauteng, from PG, and from Kokda, certain powers, and put them into the Minister for Electricity and say to that person, we are facing a problem of electricity blackouts. We are going into an election. That is going to be our downfall. I want you to change that particular situation so that we change the narrative away from being the ANC unable to sort out issues of electricity to saying, here is the ANC that sorted out issues of blackouts.
And it's going to be interesting then to see if the issues of blackouts are sorted out once and for all. Mbhazima Shilowa, let me thank you so much for your time. Do appreciate it this afternoon. That is Mbhazima Shilowa, former Gauteng Premier and political commentator. As you can see on the side of your screens there, we're monitoring the protest at Wits University, and also we are in Parliament ahead of the swearing in of the new ministers, of course, and the Deputy President, of course. And remember, this comes at the back of those changes that were then made last night. So we'll bring you all of that live here on the show.